Restart the stream. Testing one more time. Testing one more time. That's better. Sorry. Had some audio difficulties. So I had to restart. We are back with Genshin Impact and continue this hangout. But first we're gonna do some missions. The gentleman strikes in broad daylight. Bilge the supplies, whatever that means. So we can go from here. First off, when you heal, get struck by lightning. So we need to take supplies, apparently. I think we're going the right way.
Had a lucky day.
Get struck. So 100 meters down there. Okay, so let's take the supplies. Take 2 supplies. So we got one out of water. There's the air supply. That's it over there. Wait, what's it collecting? Have to defeat them. Which and trying to take supplies. Around the old merch pal. Oh dear. Follow me? Yes, they will. Yes. You do is wait right here. Or do that. Yeah. On me right in the middle battle. Weird. Come on, guys. Come on out in the water. Oh. Really? We have to defeat him. I'm not reviving. Horror. Need to run away. Low in health. Stop falling. Really? Revive him. Guess we gotta revive. Albedo. Tough. Get out of my way, guys. I have to do something. I hurt. Swim faster, Zhao. It should be safe out here, so need to replenish my health. I'm out of food. Change character. Really? You know what? Can't do this. You do just teleport out of here. You do or can't speak. Replenish my health. Where'd the thing? You know, we're full healed. Do our quest. We get pain. Try this one. There. I get struck.
What a lucky day.
Stop it. Down there we need to go. More supplies.
Useless. Let the show be.
Yeah, Albedo.
Worthless.
These guys come from. Need.
Free.
I'll take care of this.
Disappear. Boring. Can't run from death.
This guy.
Come into being. Moments of birth. Live.
Really? Coming. Oh, you kidding me? Look.
Stay right there. Dodge this. Don't push your luck. Oh, so
Burst.
sorry. I slipped on that.
Froze him. Good. Wrapped.
Cool it. 40. I see through you. Don't be a killjoy. Retribution just begun. Let's end this quickly. Yeah. Burst forth.
Burst.
My great undertaking. I see through you. Come. Ah!
Not good.
Live. Ah! Burst forth. Ha! This is bad. This moment will be frozen in time. Ah!
We come in. Can't lead that commission. One thing we need to do. You live fire, so
Ah, we'll be a traveling magic troupe. And voila! A round of applause.
I'll light the fire.
Step right up. Now disappear.
Light the fire. This firelight. What? Up. Going to Luke.
What's our objective?
Be right back too. Okay, I'm back. So let's see if we can light this fire and cook some. Really, just light this fire and cook some food. Go. Go. Oh, firelight. Do it from the other side. Too windy here. What? We can't light that fire. Already set up. Cow. Blow you up. Arrow. Only level up. This details can we him. Plenty of those.
Where's my key? Not again.
Else can level up. Traveler. And level him up. Okay. And see if can't speak. And see if I can level up these characters fast. We could I hate them. Peanut tunnels. Those. Three of those.
Wait,
I know. Artifacts and do a fast. Put them. Artifacts and I could level up. His constellation partially unlocked. You. Did artifacts on it. Damage. Do sorry. There you the. Oh, will. Trying to beta. Supposed to. And see who I can level up. That's you.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my
Elite.
big sister.
Yeah. Also level up a few of these guys. Trying to send him.
Where's my
Craft these.
key? Not again.
Oh, let's set up cow back. Revive him. Have an idea. Have to fix this. We're gonna have to
Let's take a moment to rest.
character inventory.
Move.
Um, Here's the wishes. And see how I revive Zhao. And put him in my party. That message. Keyboard's not working right. See, I know how. That's how you do it. Map. Back here. To revive Zhao. It didn't. So
take a moment to rest and plan our next move.
Second party.
You called?
That's how you do that.
Many mortals fear lightning. Incomprehensible. Fear of something so common.
Okay, so quest. And we're going back to the kaeya mission. Abort waypoint. So go chat with everybody. They're up there in that building. Go up the stairs. We are.
I wonder how much Fanaria caught of that. Old Wu really has no filter, does he?
Talk with her.
Oh, poor Wu.
He just laughs. Guy's over there, so more interesting. Just do that.
He really didn't have to share all the details of that story. But since he didn't seem to mind, I wasn't about to stop him.
You avoid bringing up the whole story on purpose.
I did actually forget at first. But once he brought up his daughter, the memory of his naked escapades came flooding back.
That's way silly.
D-Luke thought some pervert was harassing the maids. He charged straight out the door, great sword in hand and raring to go.
Sounds
I
like the
haven't seen him so angry in a long time. So many people owe me favors nowadays. It's hard to keep track of them all. I really should go check my favors ledger once I'm back and refresh my memory.
I have a favors ledger.
Hey, you didn't think I was being
Oh boy.
serious, did you? Do I really strike you as the kind of person to keep track of favors in a notebook?
Maybe.
I just helped the guy out on a couple of occasions because I happened to be in the right place at the right time. I have no intention of asking him to do anything for me in return. At least, not so far.
I'm back with fruit. Please help yourselves, everyone. My treat.
Oh my. Oh, whoa.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mention it. It's just a few fruits, nothing extravagant. Once my new pharmaceutical business takes off and I have more to spare, I'll get you a proper thank you gift and send it to the Knights of Favonius.
Pharmaceutical business. So you found a new career? No more shipping?
Shipping's impossible work nowadays. There's too much competition, and the margins are too small, so I've decided to switch gears. I'm going to become a partner of Boo Boo Pharmacy and provide funding for a brand new medication they're producing. It's specially formulated to treat seasonal joint and limb pain. If you didn't know, it's a very common health complaint among sailors, but also extremely difficult to treat. I've suffered from it myself, which is why I know that a lot of people stand to benefit from this once it enters the market. It's a good cause, and a stable source of income. Whichever way you look at it, it's a step up from the back-breaking work I did before. I've already had some talks and invested 1 million mora for the first round of funding.
That's impressive, Wu. I wouldn't have thought you had the connections for something like that. So is it Dr. Baiju that you're in talks with?
Oh no, not Dr. Baiju.
Oh boy.
Actually, it was his master, Dr. Baifudze. His medical expertise and clinical experience are second to none, and he really cares about his patients. He gave me a few of his traditionally formulated bone-strengthening pills when he saw me suffering from my leg pains one day. It was like a miracle cure. The pain immediately went away.
Dr. Baiju's master.
Yeah, I told him I'd be enthusiastically recommending his medicine to the other guys at the docks. And after some hesitation, he just went right ahead and wrote up a prescription for me, completely for free. He said that he shouldn't really be handing out free prescriptions since, and I quote, "It goes against generations of tradition handed down by our forebears." But he just felt like it was the right thing to do. What a great guy.
But I got chatting with Dr. Baiju recently when the Secure Transport Agency did a delivery for Boo Boo Pharmacy. He told me that his master has already passed away.
Oh boy.
Why would he say something like that? I mean, the guy's old, but he's still in great health.
Captain Wu, where did you meet this old master?
True.
Just out on the street? I know that
He
sounds
believed
dubious, but this is an educated and respectable gentleman we're talking about. There's no faking that.
Hold on a second. I just remembered something. My nephew-in-law met a medicine seller not too long ago, too. He also described it as a miracle cure. He spent a lot of mora on it, but when he brought it to Boo Boo Pharmacy, Herbalist Gui took one look and told him he bought nothing but regular painkillers. This Baifudze you met, did he by any chance have a goatee and salt and pepper hair?
He did.
Oh boy.
If I may, Captain Wu, there's a lot of mora involved here. It seems like it would be worth asking this Dr. Baiju about his master, just to set the record straight. You could show him the medicine as well. Clearly there's some misunderstanding here.
You're right, Captain Kaeya. A quick trip to Boo Boo Pharmacy and I can get Dr. Baiju to clear all of this up. I'm sure it's all... hopefully it's all fine.
He left in a hurry. He must be stressed out of his mind right now.
Go with him for moral support.
Hey, let him deal with this, okay? No point in you stressing yourself out, too. Fraud or not, it's up to Captain Wu to figure out exactly who he's gotten himself involved with. I'm no Dark Knight hero, or a martial arts hero for that matter, and neither are you. Wait.
Thank you for that.
Or are you? Now that I think about it, I can see you having a secret double life as a martial arts hero here in Liyue. You certainly have the personality for it.
Stuck. Darn. Double life. I don't know what's going on. Wait a bit. Alright, click. The game's frozen. Gotta see him move. Just a little hiccup. Be right back. Restart. I'm gonna restart the game. It fixes it. I see.
I'm back with fruit. Please help yourselves, everyone. My treat.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mention it. Once my new
Pharmaceutical
It's
business.
shipping's
different.
impossible work nowadays. I'm gonna become a part. It's specially formulated. I've suffered from it myself, which is why it's a good cause and a stable.
That's impressive,
It's
Wu.
before, so I'm
not
skipping
Dr.
past
Bai.
it.
He gave me a few of his
Dr. Baiju.
Yeah, he said that he shouldn't really. Huh?
Captain Wu,
Just.
Hold on. He spent a lot of this buy foods.
He did.
if I may, Captain Wu.
You're right, Captain Kaeya.
He left in a hurry. He must be stressed out of his mind.
Hey, let him deal with this, okay? No point in you stressing. I'm no Dark Knight hero. Wait, where are you? Now that I think about it, I can see you having a secret double life as a marshal. Either way, Liyue has its own rules and regulations. Best to let the Ministry of Civil Affairs deal with this in the proper manner. If a couple of outlanders like us get involved, we might just end up muddying the waters. Even with the best of intent. We came here to enjoy ourselves, remember? We don't want to get our priorities mixed up.
It is said that the sky's the limit for the aspirational soul. But alas, for the woes of the world are equally limitless. No such stranger to woes was Huang Guang, a man who, having suffered countless injustices at the hands of his fellow men, forsook them to dwell among the mountains and rivers. Yet fate fortuitous found him when he entered the tutelage of an adeptus and learned many mystical arts from them. Per his master's wishes, he then returned once more to the human world, only this time with a sworn duty to cleanse the land of demons and to see justice done wherever he might tread.
Is that all? I was hoping to hear the rest of the story.
Thought of the story. Hey, I'm back. You. What you thought of the story? You think of the
It was
story?
all right. I suppose the hero always has to sacrifice himself to save others, and it does make for some good storytelling. But it leaves you wondering how he really feels about the whole thing. Did he ever have second thoughts? Only he can know, I suppose.
Oh, I see the show is over.
Bye, Zoo.
Yeah, I saw Dr. Baiju. Looks like it was a scam after all.
Then what are you waiting for? Don't just stand there. You need to report this to the Ministry of Civil Affairs right away.
Hold on. Let's not lose our cool. Get your story straight first, so you can give them a clear and detailed account of events in the order that they occurred. And one more thing. Do you still have a way to contact this guy?
Well, I'd arranged to meet him at the Yunsheng Tea House once I've withdrawn the next sum of Mora, so I suppose he'll still be waiting on that.
Okay, so you've got another meeting lined up.
I've got no one to blame but myself for this. I can't believe I was so gullible. I guess the world isn't made for naive simpletons like me.
Yeah, this is not your fault. Use your trust is despicable.
Young man, you're a good person, and I'm touched by your words of comfort. Still, it's up to me to find a way to get my Mora back. The consequences are mine alone to bear. At my age, I'm sure I should be comforting the young with words of wisdom rather than the other way around. What does that say about how I've spent my life?
The kaeya solution.
It's obvious, isn't it? He needs to report the case to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
To help.
Come with me. I am quite curious. How does our chivalrous martial arts hero intend to come to Captain Wu's rescue here? There are countless victims of injustice in the world. We can't try to help each and every one of them, can we?
You're a good person.
Oh, I'm surprised. I didn't know you thought of me as someone who helps other people unconditionally. I'm genuinely flattered. But we both know that I'm not that kind of person, really.
I want you others to laugh at Captain Wu's woes. I wouldn't believe to your
Your
head.
logic is very straightforward
Believe he
and quite
want
endearing
to
in
help.
its simplicity. But I
Sorry.
like how you think. So I'll indulge your martial arts hero aspirations for now.
Not to count. Right here.
Captain Wu, how would you feel about owing me one more favor?
I'm sorry, Captain Kaeya?
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I found a way to recover your Mora that would leave the man who defrauded you feeling angry and frustrated, but give him no way to get back at you. If it could be done, and the only cost was owing me yet another favor, what would you say?
What exactly are you getting at?
The Traveler here is adamant that you should ask me for another favor. Personally, I blame the storyteller. After hearing the inspiring tale of Bravebeard, he's all gung-ho about playing hero and righting this injustice once and for all.
Captain Kaeya, young man, I thank you. I will humbly accept your kindness.
All right. Now here's what I'm thinking.
Develop a plan.
All right, then it's settled. Per our brave hero's plan, let's rendezvous at Yanshang Tea House tomorrow.
Wait till 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Big chamber right there.
Seems all the other
Genshin
knights
Tea
already have their
House.
hands full. Ah, you're here. Good. I'll head upstairs first, and you join me in a bit. You've got nothing to worry about. As long as this lucky coin's in my hands, it'll do as it's told. Before I toss the coin, I'll get our guy to bet heads or tails. Then it's your turn to bet. Now remember, if I touch my chin, you bet heads. If I touch my forehead, you go for tails.
Hello. Are you waiting for someone?
Phased off for a second there.
As long as you follow the rules of the tea house, you're...
We head in.
From the way you describe it, Liyue does sound like an attractive place to settle. Perhaps I might have to make the move here after all. All that awaits me back in Mondstadt is a horde of insufferable sycophants. Truly tedious. The reason I left home in the first place was because I was reluctant to simply live off of my inheritance.
I understand. For one as ambitious as yourself, Mr. Rich, living off of the family fortune must feel like the dullest existence in the world.
Are.
What are you doing? It's common courtesy to introduce yourself. Can't you see we got here first?
Still uptight, just looking for a seat.
They're running out of tables, huh? Looks like this location's getting too small for them. Very well, I'll make an exception for you this one time. Let's hope the tea, at least, won't disappoint me.
So, my friend, what's your name?
Aspiring foreign disciple of the Guha clan. Aspiring foreign disciple of Guha clan.
Here's the tea that you ordered. Please enjoy.
Ugh, this tea is...
Oh boy.
Never mind. Mr. Bai, this has been a most pleasant and insightful conversation. I consider it good fortune that I encountered such a refined gentleman as yourself so far from home. Please allow me to pay for the tea.
Yes, good fortune indeed. In that case, I must thank you for your generosity.
You there. I'll get yours too.
Thanks. Far from home.
Oh, you can't tell? My family's lived in Mondstadt for generations. I got bored sitting around at home and decided to set off on a journey to expand my horizons. The sights of Liyue Harbor are rather spectacular. I've half a mind to buy a waterfront property here so I can come vacationing every year. That would be quite nice. If the family would spare me a little loose change, I could even invest in an antique shop or two so I have something to do during the day.
Waterfront properties are so expensive.
And the point of life is to enjoy yourself. If something makes me happy, it's worth every mora.
Mr. Rich, just to clarify, that's quite a large sum of mora as far as the common man is concerned. It's understandable that our friend over here feels out of his league.
The name's Albert. Surname Rich. But only the servants in the house address me as Mr. Rich. Now that we're so well acquainted, Mr. Bai, please just call me Albert.
Albert does have a nice ring to it. It is my honor to become friends with someone of your caliber.
You flatter me. What say you to acting as my guide during my time in Liyue? I'll pay you handsomely, of course. Naturally, board and lodging would be included. And I could pay you in the region of 50,000 mora per day?
No need, my good friend. I shan't be so vulgar as to take your mora. We're both men of character. The pleasure of your ongoing acquaintance shall be ample reward, and it's to join a noble gentleman on his travels is a rare opportunity. Please, let me draft up an exact itinerary.
You there. You're welcome to join us if you want. Which clan did you say you were
Guha clan.
Guha, huh? Strange choice of name. Gotta say, I've been in Liyue for a while now. This is the first I'm hearing of them.
Yes, well, there are many martial arts clans and factions in Liyue. It's only natural that you haven't become acquainted with all of them.
Ha, fair enough. Still, weird name. Bet they have some even weirder practices. Seriously though, what kind of skills do you guys train anyway? It's all for show, right? I saw some people performing a few tricks down at the wharf. Is it that kind of thing?
Guha clan devoted to teaching martial arts. Care about the Guha clan to the street performers, we have nothing to talk about. I think I leave now. I'll get my own check as
I
well.
already told the server to put it on my tab. Don't bother getting her to split the bill. It'll only complicate things.
Master teaches us not to accept free favors.
Young man, there's no need to take things so seriously. Why don't you loosen up and enjoy the free drink?
Are you trying to make a point by throwing my generosity back in my face?
Oh boy, here we go.
All right then. What if I say your bill is mine and don't let you pay?
Wanna fight?
Please, my friends, let's not get so worked up. Yinchang Tea House is no venue for a duel. We'll all get escorted right out the door. You young people have hot tempers, I understand that. But there's no need to come to blows over a few words taken to heart when there are far more diplomatic ways to resolve the dispute.
Okay, how about we sell this with a coin toss? I'll foot my own bill if I win.
Did I hear that right? So you'll only pay for yourself if you win, but I'll get the check for the three of us if you lose. It's not that I care about the mora. After all, I offered to pay for everyone's drinks in the first place. No, what I find truly absurd is your refusal to play fair. I demand that you also pay for three if you win.
Blow the hogwash. To win the bet, you have to make a formal apology to Guha clan.
Fine. You can have your apology if you win, but on one condition. We'll do the best of three, and the winner pays for the table.
Well, as long as you're no longer raring to fight, peace begets wealth, as the elders used to say.
Why don't you join us, Mr. Bai? Let's entertain this guy for a sec.
But I wasn't even a part of your argument.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Bai? Whose side are you on here?
Of course, I'm on,
And anyway, it's no big deal if you win. It's just a few cups of tea after all, so you can just take it from your fees as my guide.
All right then. I suppose it's not all that different from the dice gambling games I used to play in my youth. If it's just for a few drinks, you can count me in.
All right, now we're talking. Okay, now that we've agreed on the rules, how should we do this coin toss? After all, a mora coin looks the same on both sides.
Easy, can we You can just borrow a pin from the counter to mark one side.
Well, that should be simple enough. Here, I'll take this coin and ask the counter to draw a line on one side. You two.
Young man, I can see that you haven't spent many years in the real world. You take everything far too personally.
Thanks
I,
for
too,
that.
only met this Mondstadt millionaire by complete chance today, but we're getting along just fine. I actually came here to meet with a business partner to count the cash from 2 recent investments. In the real world, you've got to keep up appearances. There's no need to offend the rich. After all, if you keep them happy, you can probably make some more off of them too. You young people are much too impulsive. It pays to keep a level head.
Just so we're clear, let's say the marked side is heads and the unmarked side is tails. Everyone has to pick a side before the coin toss. Oh, and no takebacks. We should also take turns tossing the coin.
Sounds
Watch his
fair to me.
body language.
Why don't you do the first toss, Albert?
All right, then, I'll start us off. Here we... Oh, wait, I nearly forgot to collect everyone's bets. Mr. Bai, heads or tails?
I suppose the choice is arbitrary since it's a 50-50 chance. I'll go with tails.
Let me think. I'll also go with tails. What about you, heads or tails?
Try this. If I chose right.
Darn,
I won as well. Guess there might be a formal apology in the cards after all.
Which is beds.
I have a suggestion. If one of us loses twice in a row, they should get knocked out while the other two carry on playing to decide the winner. Otherwise, I flipped the coin last time, so why don't you go next? I don't want you blaming my coin-tossing skills if you guess wrong this turn.
Now just wait a second, my dear friends. Please let me do the second toss.
Oh? Anxious to take your turn, Mr. Bai?
You are both young, and I've already seen your short tempers for myself. If Albert loses this round and this young man wins, you'll be tied. And before you know it, you'll be at each other's throats again.
This isn't part of the plan. What should we do?
Well, that's not my only consideration either. You two may be too young to know this, but I've been around the block a few times. What's to say
boy.
this isn't a trick coin? In dice games, people use all sorts of methods to rig the game. Some even fit the dice with mechanisms that give them whichever result they want. If Albert wins the next round and you, young man, lose for the second time in a row, then the third round will just be a tiebreaker between him and me. And if that happens, only for you to then find out that the coin was rigged all along, you're sure to accuse me of working with Albert to scam you while mocking the Guhua clan. A purely hypothetical scenario, of course, but one that I'm bringing up now to avoid any
He's still smiling.
further down the road.
Very diligent of you indeed, Mr. Bai. Looks like I chose the right person to be my guide. Here.
A rigged coin will always be a little heavier than a normal coin, you see.
What's
What
your
it's
bet
called?
this time, Mr. Bai?
I'll stick with tails.
Tails, huh? Well, you seem to have a feel for this, so I guess I'll match your bet again this round.
But you
Tails it is. And you?
tails. Oh, heads.
Well, my luck's still just about holding out. The three of us.
Imagine
are
next
now
one's gonna be
tied.
got tails.
Well, here you go. What'll it be, Mr. Bai?
It's a tough decision this time.
That's what makes it fun, isn't it? Anyway, there's no
I
need
mean,
to stress.
heads.
What's the cost of a few cups of tea compared to 50,000 I'll be paying you every day?
You make a good point.
Excuse me.
All right, I'll take heads.
Okay, and now it's
Cool.
my turn to guess. Not that the outcome matters either way to me. I won't even notice the more's gone. Whatever. I'll take tails.
He touches heads. Choose heads. I keep messing this up.
Sure, why not? I'm having fun. I can go for as many rounds as you want.
Let's have fun.
What a miserly person. Do as you please. The two of us can...
But, Albert, all the fun...
Oh, come on now. No need to walk on eggshells here. Let's keep it simple, shall we?
I messed up.
If you guess right,
sure.
Well, here's the coin. Wouldn't it defeat the whole purpose of betting if you guessed the same as me? This is a two-person game now. Surely one of us has to guess heads and the other
She's
tails.
All right. It all comes down to luck after...
We don't guess.
Ooh, looks like Rex Lapis has smiled upon me today after all. Thank you for the tea.
On a lucky streak today.
Look at you getting so giddy over some chump change. It's like you've never gambled with real money before, my old man. That's a real rush, I'm telling you. This is nothing by comparison. In fact, I'm starting to get a little bored.
Well, in that case, would you care for another game?
Sure. And let's up the stakes a little this time.
Oh boy.
Shall we say 50,000?
Oh, maybe that's a little on the high side.
What, 50,000? But that's just a single day's guide pay for you.
All right. I'll bet.
Great, then I'll bet heads.
Heels.
Oh, how unfortunate. I shouldn't have gotten greedy. After all, in the long run, gambling is always a losing game. 50,000 more. Albert, I'm terribly sorry, but as it happens, I forgot to bring my coin purse.
Advance payment? Sorry, I'm afraid that's not my style. It'll have to be cash.
This day
Oh boy.
just getting better and better. Well, so be it. 50,000. Let me see what cash I have on me.
Just 50,000? That's not what we agreed on.
Huh? What are you talking about? I think you'll find that our bet was for 50,000.
No, it wasn't. The amount was 1 million.
What?
1 million? Are you insane? Come on now, Albert. Be serious. 1 million here and 1 million there might be all fun and games to you rich types, but to ordinary folk like myself, this is no laughing matter.
I'm being perfectly serious. I know what I said, and what I said was 1 million mora.
You're lying through your teeth. Hey, young man, you tell him. Did you hear him say 1 million at
Yeah,
any
he
point
said 1
during
million.
Huh? What the? I'm not deaf, you know. I swear I heard Oh, I see.
Oh no, it's
You
gone.
two, I never met either of you before today, and out of nowhere you suddenly roped me into betting over a coin toss, and now you're accusing me of owing you 1 million more. Huh? Do you have any idea who you're trying to cheat? I know all the tricks in the book. I can't believe a couple of beginners like you managed to get this far. Well, don't you try to celebrate just yet. You amateur. Do you really think that nobody else will have heard all the commotion we just... Frauds! Frauds, I say! These two kids are...
How pathetic.
True.
What is going on here? If you can't abide by our rules, you're not welcome at Yenshang Tea House. I don't care what the issue is. You don't get to make a racket like that in here.
Wait, don't throw me out! These two con artists are trying to steal my Mora. You can't let...
Well, let's take this somewhere else. I don't want any of you disturbing the other guests. Okay, you two. Care to explain yourself?
Gladly. He's making up completely spurious claims. We were betting Mora over a few coin tosses, and now he wants to back out. In the land of contracts, of all places. He won 250,000 from me, then another 800,000 from the both of us. Now he's refusing to pay up the measly 50,000 that he lost in the final round.
Okay, so after settling up, a total of 1 million Mora should have changed hands. Sounds plausible enough.
Oh, it's a complete pack of lies. Hostess, if you don't believe me, ask anyone else in the tea house. These kids were so loud. I guarantee you everybody in that room knows.
Sorry to interrupt you all, but you're witnesses to the situation here. Is what Mr. Bai says true?
Oh, thank goodness you're finally here. What took you so long? That old guy's been bragging about the Mora he's won so loudly, I'm surprised the whole street didn't hear him. I was about to report him to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Leave me out of this. I want nothing to do with gamblers and scammers. Please, just bring me my check.
Our new owner laid down the law not too long ago. We turn a blind eye towards casual games of dice, but there is zero tolerance for any explicit gambling with real Mora. Return any winnings to the party you took them from, and we'll say that none of this ever happened. Otherwise, I'll have to bring in the Millilith. And I can assure you that they take a more hard line on this kind of thing than we do.
Why should I have to give them any Mora? I don't have any Mora on...
Oh, but I think you do. 2 investments, was it? One of them to the tune of exactly 1 million as it happens. Oh, and don't forget you still need to pay the tab.
You...
Halberd! Fang! There's a gentleman here that I'd really like you to meet.
Please, please don't. I'll pay, all right?
This was never your Mora to begin with. We'll be returning it to its rightful owner now.
Boo. Jump over.
What did you think, Captain Wu? Could you hear clearly from your corner on the 2nd floor?
Yes, everything. I can't thank you two enough.
Woo. This was your doing, wasn't it? You and this Mondstatter planned the whole thing, along with that blonde one. And all the customers on that floor were in on it too, weren't they? I know where you live, and I know what your wife looks like, and your pretty little daughter too.
Who'd be scared of a crook like you? I'll take you on any day of the week.
Well, let's see how long that false bravado of yours will last.
Oh, look at that. He figured it out. Guess he's not as dumb as we thought.
Don't you two get cocky either.
My apologies for having to leave this question until you'd vacated the premises. But I couldn't have things escalate inside the tea house. I hope you can understand our position. I noticed that all the guests on the 2nd floor were present before you took your seats, then left almost immediately after you did. Would I be correct in saying you were looking to set this man up?
Wait, so you saw through it right away?
Under normal circumstances, we would never tolerate a scheme like this taking place on our grounds, as it risks damaging our owner's reputation. However, I understand that our owner holds the Traveler in high regard, and must have good reasons for their actions. Still,
as I thought. When you're operating on someone else's turf, you run the risk of clashing with the master of the house. Thankfully, we considered that possibility before going ahead with our plan. Over to you, brave hero. You're the one with the
Okay, I understand the situation now. It goes without saying that I have no wish to stand in the way of your chivalrous deeds. I'll
Feel free to find me again if you need further explanation.
Well, Captain Wu, remember what I promised you? What do you think? Angry and frustrated enough for you?
Excuse me, coming through. Is this the Mr. Bai you reported to us?
Yes, that's him all right. the one who scammed Captain Wu.
Wait! Where's your evidence? Hmm? And Wu, you've already recovered your Mora. I don't deserve to be punished twice for the same crime.
You can't talk your way out of this one. You're already suspected of defrauding multiple victims out of smaller amounts, and the combined total meets the threshold for a conviction. If it turns out you're guilty in this case too, it'll only add to your sentence. Does the plaintiff have any witnesses? If so, we'd really appreciate if they could come
have
with
me give
us
a
and provide it.
testimony.
You got tangled up in this too, huh? In that case, please come with me. Your witness statements will play a crucial role in helping to move this case. Don't worry, we won't take up too much of your time. And you, sir, can stop twiddling your thumbs. You're coming with us.
Hey, keep your hands off me. I'll cooperate.
Thank you so much, the both of you. I really don't know how I could ever begin to repay you.
Well, I have an idea. We originally came here to do some sightseeing. Anywhere you'd recommend we go before the end of our trip?
Let me think. Now, where would I want to go? Hey, are either of you interested in a fishing trip?
Sounds fun to me.
Go to the seaside.
Hey there. Don't be shy.
Well, this was certainly an eventful end to my trip. It wouldn't have been possible without you. Or my lucky coin, of course.
Glad nothing went wrong when you toss a coin.
Wouldn't be much of a lucky coin if it had. Besides, I already taught you how to become attuned to it. You still need some practice to master the technique, but luckily it decided to play nice and spare us any more complications.
You control it.
A better question to ask might be, what do I do to make this coin happy to work with me and show me whichever side I wish? My answer would be that I tell the coin a joke every time I toss it into the air. If it finds my joke funny, then it cooperates with me. Of course, this whole arrangement hinges on a pre-existing amount of trust between the two of us. I can't just get any strange coins to listen to me.
So Garnwing insisted on taking the second coin toss.
I was a little surprised when he unwittingly called out our trick coin, but it didn't matter. A good gambler always keeps their options open. You have to have a contingency plan for when the odds are against you. So when I went to the counter, I marked a regular coin as well as my trick one. That safely avoided any risk of him finding out about the trick coin. But it also meant that we wouldn't be able to control the result of that round. But hey, what does it matter? The fact that he made things a little more challenging only made it all the more exciting to watch him slowly but surely fall into our trap. Especially listening to him warn us about the possibility of a rigged coin right as we were scamming him. That was my favorite part. As long as I chose the same bet as him, and you bet the opposite to me, it was always going to end up with him paying. Unless, of course, he'd had some other tricks up his sleeve that we hadn't thought of. Then things would have gotten really interesting.
You two are genuinely the smartest people I've ever met. I'm no intellectual, so I would never have been able to come up with a plan like this. Even when you described it to me, I only understood parts of it.
Never change your good nature.
Well, I may not be the smartest guy around, but one thing I do know is this. One should always return tenfold the help that they've received from others. We were just ordinary acquaintances. You had no reason to help me as much as you did. If there's anything I can ever do for you in the future, anything—
Oh? You seem agitated. There are two kinds of people who owe me favors. One is my friends, and the other my informants. My informants have to fulfill whatever requests I make of them, no questions asked. The question is, which kind of person do you want to be? Ah, and you're torn again. Too afraid to ask to be my friend, but also daunted by the dangers inherent in becoming my informant. Well, it's okay, because I just thought of a fun and easy way to get us out of this
Oh boy.
impasse. Let's do a coin toss. This is the regular coin I prepared for the contingency plan when I was borrowing a pen from the bar. Not the lucky one that does what I tell it to. If it's heads, we're friends. But if it's tails, you're at my beck and call. May the Lord of Geo decide.
So, was it?
What do you think? What does your heart tell you?
Putting the coin back in his pocket.
I understand now. You have my most sincere gratitude. No, that's...
Sure. Kaeya. Be right back. Hey, I'm back. We need to go out to Kaeya.
What's the hurry?
Behind us. Down there. Here.
You're always so busy. It's high time you gave yourself a proper break. Even the sharpest blade loses its edge if it's always in use. Regular maintenance is essential for reliable performance. And anyway, life is short, so we should make the most of the time we have. Right now is the... Now I remember why you're an honorary knight. Of course being tempted by money is beneath you. Your honest character is dazzling to behold. like the sunlight reflecting off the surface of Cider Lake in the late fall. I hold my hands up. My thinking was mistaken. In that case, I guess today's end-of-trip blowout is cancelled. I shall pack my luggage and prepare to return to Mondstadt.
Join you for a journey.
You'll do that for me? Well, this wasn't what I'd originally planned, but it's a very welcome development. When I was souvenir shopping, I picked out something for you too. Guess my thoughtfulness wasn't in vain.
Get me.
Let's keep that a secret for now. Not because I want to keep you guessing. It's just that I didn't think I'd run into you here. All my gifts are back at the inn. I want you to find out for yourself when you open it. The surprise is what gift giving is all about, is it not?
Fine.
Then it's settled. We'll leave together shortly.
Return to Mondstadt. I can watch that.
Look, Mondstadt's windmills. Now, as promised, your souvenir. Merchants loved.
Off his voice lines.
I know you like rare things, so perhaps you can add this to your collection. Of course, you can also use it as an ordinary pot.
He'll put on
You're
display.
welcome. I'm ready to head into the city now. You're free to join. I could give everyone their souvenirs first, but I'm not sure whether I'm in the mood for running around and visiting people right after the long journey. Maybe I'll take a breather first. But I know I'll only get bored sitting in my room alone.
Go out
I'm
together.
honored to have such a caring friend. Let's go to the plaza in front of the cathedral. We can listen to the bards playing or feed the pigeons. After so long in Sumeru, I've begun to miss that slow-paced and relaxed atmosphere. There's no rush. We can take our time and stroll on over.
From the cathedral. Up there. One houses.
Port Ormos is always lively, even late into the night. People there go to bed much later than I imagined. Quite a stark contrast with Mondstadt. People pray and play music in the Cathedral Plaza during the day, but come nighttime, the streets are deserted except for the knights on patrol.
What lifestyle do you prefer?
Good question. Life in Sumeru is never dull. Last time I was out drinking on the street at night, some passing mercenaries invited me to dance. Although, I did learn later that that kind of thing is highly unusual even there. They must have been in a very good mood that night. They taught me a lot of songs that they usually sing during feasts. It really was a fun night. But be that as it may, I think I'm more suited to the free and easy life in Mondstadt. Simple, honest folks like me, we don't need much to be content.
I hear what you're saying.
Fair enough. Let's shelve that discussion for now. Have you ever had a chance to hear the cathedral choir before? The hymns they sing are a whole tradition in their own right. Quite different from the folk songs that the bards play.
Very interesting.
Let's see if we can catch them today. Excuse me, Sister Grace. Does the church choir have any performances coming up soon?
Oh, I'm so sorry. The hymn concert we previously announced has unfortunately been pushed back.
Oh? What's the story there?
As you probably know, Captain Kaeya, we've been trying to organize an amateur choir in addition to the regular church choir.
Ah, yes. I heard about that. I believe the plan was ultimately to have different choirs who can take turns to perform hymn concerts.
Yes, exactly. Well, it turns out there are plenty of believers who are good singers and interested in joining a choir. So, in theory, it should have been a simple case of getting everyone in the same room, then practice, practice, practice. But, for some reason, the rehearsals are going terribly. I don't understand it. Everyone in the choir has a basic level of musical literacy, but they sound awful together. It's like everyone's trying to do their own thing. There's no... maybe I'm just not musically gifted enough to give them the guidance they need. Captain Kaeya, I know you like listening to hymns. How good is your understanding of vocal music?
Me? Music is far from my forte. But if you need some help, then don't worry. I know an expert who's more than up to the task.
Thank you so much, Captain Kaeya. Having some expert guidance will definitely be a great help.
I'm sure you've figured out who this expert is already. He has the best singing voice of any poet in Mondstadt, and understands poetry better than any other singer. Plus, he's exceptionally easy to find. 9 out of 10 times, he's in the tavern.
Go to Angel Share. Feeling some venti. Person post. Or someone who it could be. We're in the corner. Yep.
Good day. Drinking alone? I hope you don't mind us
Do it.
joining you.
Hello, Venti.
Hello, hello! Please, take a seat. We're all friends here.
Patton, one moonlit alley and an apple cider.
Ooh, excellent choices. Come on, let's have a toast and drain our glasses together. Here's to the time spent drinking with friends, which is more unforgettable than the drinks are delectable.
Ever the poet, Professor Venti. A beautiful toast from the bard with the most. Any new songs of yours we could listen to? There's a real dearth of quality entertainment at the moment, since the cathedral's choir performance has been delayed again. Speaking of which, I trust you've heard Sister Grace's choir perform before?
Of course! Though the format is a little on the formal side, they do sing quite beautifully. Very pleasant to listen to.
So you'd say you enjoy listening to hymns?
Let me think. Well, however it's expressed, as long as you can hear the singer's passion and joy in their voice, I consider it a phenomenal performance.
Passion and joy, huh? An intriguing perspective. By this logic, I suppose Lord Barbados would also enjoy the choir's performances.
Oh? And why is that?
Think about it. It's only because of his patient guidance and protection that the people of Mondstadt can now sing such beautiful hymns in the cathedral. It must be quite satisfying for him to hear a joyful people lift up their voices in song.
Yes, well, that's a beautiful image filled with hope. But actually, maybe Barbados himself doesn't give it so much thought. In principle, the hymns of the cathedral are dedicated to a god. But in reality, the audience are all ordinary people with very worldly concerns. So what really matters is that the people enjoy what they're listening to.
If Sister Grace was able to see things that way, perhaps she wouldn't feel so distressed.
Huh? Distressed? About what? Ugh, she might be asking a bit too much. To be honest, if they have a natural talent for music, they should just be allowed to sing whatever they want. It'll all sound good.
If their voices are in harmony.
I'm pretty sure the first people to sing songs to the Animo Archon weren't all singing the same tune. Besides, he is the god of freedom. Surely he'd prefer to hear Mondstadters sing their hearts out however comes naturally to them.
Well, to each their own, I say. But Sister Grace seems quite bothered by the whole thing. If only a kind soul with a deep understanding of poetry and music could help her. Patton?
More drinks?
Uh-oh. I only brought enough money for one bottle today. I'll have to pass.
Another bottle of apple cider for Venti, please, Patton. My treat.
Wow! Thanks, Kaeya. You were one of the finest students ever to emerge from my fast-track love poetry class. I always did admire your enthusiasm and kindness. With the aid of this bottle, a humble bard's woes are whisked away on the wind. And so it falls to this humble bard to pass the blessing on to another.
Then this is probably the single most worthwhile alcohol purchase I've ever made. With your help, Sister Grace's problems are as good as solved. Sister Grace is a devout follower of the Animo Archon. Perhaps it's her depth of devotion that causes her to worry too much about the smallest things.
Don't worry. Just wait a moment. I'll go find her. Right after I finish this cider.
Of course.
The next time you visit her, our sweet sister shall be sad no more. Kaeya is a wily character, but free wine is always the most delicious.
Always refuse.
It's fine.
I mean, the church's choral hymns aren't exactly my strong suit, what with all the finicky formalities and so on. But as long as there is love for music in the air, I'm sure I'll be able to help.
I'm doing it for the wine.
Hey, if I'm happy and Sister Grace is happy and the audience is happy, that's a great thing, isn't it?
Food.
Today's recipe I choose is
Me too. What to eat? Tim Plaza. All of that plaza. That's a story. Get into it. NT. All
Hello,
that.
Sister Grace. How are the rehearsals going?
Captain Kaeya, your bard friend has a few suggestions that are somewhat fanciful in nature.
Oh boy.
fanciful in the sense of not worth adopting. Is that what you mean?
What are your thoughts?
Everyone in the choir loves to sing, but they're used to singing their favorite songs. Suddenly asking them to sing in perfect harmony like a church choir with years of experience is just too difficult. So, why ask them to adjust to the demands of those staid old church hymns when you could just create a new song for them? One that they'll be able to grasp quickly? If you want, I could help.
Church choirs typically stick to traditional hymns. This is certainly an innovative idea. What's stopping you from considering it, Sister Grace?
While I don't expect a recently established amateur choir to perform on par with our own church choir, this would be a major departure from tradition. I'm just not convinced that it's appropriate.
Is the Church of Favonius really such a stickler for tradition? Giving believers the chance to express themselves freely seems like it would be a very positive thing. So, Venti, do you think the Animo Archon would like to hear a new melody?
Of course! This was the wish of the people when New Mondstadt was first founded.
Okay, well, let's see what our other friend thinks. Traveler, what are your thoughts?
Let's go, Venti.
Another vote of confidence. Maybe there's hope.
Maybe it's just a generational thing, but... Oh, well, it's not a completely unreasonable idea. I suppose it can't hurt to try.
Looks like we're all in favor then. So let's start preparing. Sister Grace, could we trouble you to inform the choir members?
Of course. I'll tell them...
Should we find some people to help us compose the lyrics? If this is to be a new song of the people, then the more fresh ideas we have, the better.
Good idea. Let's split up and find some contributors, Traveler.
Who should I go?
Let me think. Since we're composing a song, we should try and recruit at least one person who understands music. Aha, I know. Sister Grace, how would you feel about us asking Sister Barbara
Where's
to
Barbara?
The idea is to write a song dedicated to Lord Barbados.
Perfect. Traveler, why don't you head into the cathedral and invite Sister Barbara to join us?
this lovely image here and I'll leave you. Those things for